Oh god, no, not again, no! Welcome to Jailbreak. Jailbreak is a beautiful game. You can rob things, arrest criminals, spectate the chat as everyone is mad over the fact you sat outside the exit of a robbery and arrested them, and more. In Jailbreak, you can start off as a prisoner or a police officer, but being a prisoner is far more fun and interesting, so we'll be covering that for now. Once you select be a prisoner, you start off in, well, prison. Who would have thought? There are multiple different ways to escape this place, but most everybody just walks through the sewer. You can also do some hardcore parkour and escape using a helicopter. Why is there no helicopter? Or just steal a cop's keycard, grab some firearms, and fill them with lead. Once you escape prison, you can do many things. You can grab firearms and even explosives, which you can then use to murder the police force working hard for their families. Beautiful. However, the most common thing a criminal does, as you would probably expect, is to rob stores, among other things. Now I'm going to summarize every current robbery in the game, so here goes. The donut shop and gas station are essentially the same thing, where you walk up to the register and just hold E for around 10 seconds to rob it. However, the donut shop gives you a donut when you walk in, which can heal your health, and the gas station gives you a funny little energy drink that turns you into Usain Bolt at the cost of half your health. The next robberies are definitely harder than holding E for 10 seconds, but are more rewarding, as you would probably expect. First off, we have a classic robbery, the bank. To enter the bank vault area, you need a key card, which, as I mentioned before, you have for pickpocketing a police officer. Once you enter the bank, there can be many different rooms, but they are all just a jumble of obstacles to avoid. And once you pass them and enter the vault, you slowly gain money, and once you've gained all the money, you can either go out the way you entered, or you can explode a sliding door that opens to an alternate exit. However, this robbery is quite risky, as if any cops even walk into the vault, everyone doing the robbery is arrested immediately. Next up is the jewelry store. For this robbery, you walk up to the glass, cut it with a little laser, and enter the building. Inside there are many diamonds encased in glass, and when you punch them 4 times, they break and you get $500 worth of gems added to your bag. Once it is full, you can ascend the floors and face a series of obstacles to exit the building. Once again, this robbery has many different floors you can face, but unlike the bank, it always gives the same amount of money. Once you've left the building, you can go to the nearby criminal base and receive your beautiful dough. Next up, trains. There are 2 types of trains, the cargo train and the passenger train. Both give around $3,000. The first one is the cargo train, in which you enter this big red car, go in through the top, explode a vault door, and sit in the vault until you have the maximum amount of money, and you can exit through a side door and receive your cash. In the passenger train, you can walk into a car and there are many things to take, all of which add a slightly varying amount of cash to your bag. However, this time you have to take your bag to this weird guy called the Collector in this weird volcano base. Next up, the power plant. The power plant is quite a unique robbery, and it's actually dependent on how fast you do it. Usually though, you get around $5,000. To enter the heist, you have to solve this puzzle in which you connect each number to the corresponding number. It's very easy once you get the hang of it, but it can be a little difficult if you're new. Once that's done, you walk through the now open door, follow a conveyor after jumping over some lasers, and then you arrive at another open power box, in which you do the same puzzle, but bigger. Once that's done, you receive uranium, and after that, you're on. The faster you get to the volcano base, the more money.
Okay, I like it.
Next, the cargo plane. Not as many people do this robbery, but it's nice to have. To do the cargo plane, you wait for it to arrive at this airport, enter the plane, wait a little bit, hold E to take a cargo crate, and then you drop it off at the criminal port. Simple. Next up, and the most rewarding, the cargo ship. You can get around $10,000 to $13,000 from the cargo ship, but it doesn't appear as often as the other robberies. To do the cargo ship, you fly up to it in a helicopter, deploy your rope, and grab the crates with your rope. However, there are also 2 missile batteries which slowly fire at you. Very scary. Once you've stolen a crate, you can drop it off into this warehouse at the crime port. You can only steal 2 crates, but each gives $5,000 to $7,000 each. This is the last robbery that you can do with only one person, and it's the casino. The casino is arguably the most complex robbery in Jailbreak, but it's fairly rewarding. First, you enter the casino through the fun revolving door and look for a code, which can be in many places. Once you've found this code, you enter it into a keypad next to a door, which leads to an elevator. This elevator has 4 stops: the roof, the security room, the ground floor, and the vaults, labeled from top to bottom. Firstly, you're going to want to enter the security room, and you want to run to the back and turn on all the computers until one of them turns red. When it does, you want to hack the security systems, and this disables the lasers, protecting the vault room so you can rob it. This robbery is also timed, but how fast you complete it doesn't dictate how much you earn. Once you enter the vault floor, you burn a hole through the glass, go through the obstacles, and arrive at a big vault door. For this one, you turn the big star looking thing, and once this light turns green, you want to turn it again, and you do this continuously until the door opens and you can take all the goods.
Oh my god, bro.
To exit, you simply go out the same way you came in. Once you reach the elevator, you can exit through either the roof or the ground floor, but I usually exit through the roof. Once you're out, you will once again take the money to the weird man and the weird volcano. These next robberies, you need 2 or more players to do. First off is the museum, and it's the oldest of the bunch. To enter, you and another criminal can plant dynamite on the roof and blow a hole in it. After entering, you take multiple artifacts until your bag is full. Once it's full, you can enter 1 or 2 areas at the far sides of the museum, each with a simple puzzle. On the right, there's this thing, and to complete it, you have to rotate the squares in a way to make a squiggly line in between the start and the finish. And the puzzle's answer is always this. On the other side, there's a wall of jewels, and once you align them in the right way, the bottom light will turn red, and you have to do this for every jewel. Once you complete each puzzle, a door will open next to it, and this door will have a lever. To exit, you and your partner in crime must activate the levers at roughly the same time to disable security and open the doors. Then you take it to the collector and receive the money. This robbery is fairly rewarding and is open often, so it's quite a good one. Next up is a tomb, which you need 3 players for. The tomb is quite difficult if you haven't done it before, at least it was for me. To start, you and 2 other players must stand on these pressure plates, and once you do, everything shakes and the door opens. Once you enter, you will fall to the bottom, taking no fall damage. Then you are met with room 1, in which the tiles light up and have spikes under them. To pass it, simply just don't stand on anything lit up. Easy. Next is arguably the hardest room, the pillars. You have to run across the pillars, but there are arrow dispensers everywhere that shoot at you. If you take your time, it's quite easy, but why should I do that? If a pillar lights up, then that means an arrow is about to fly past it and you should probably get off of it. If you just fall off a pillar, then a small amount of health is subtracted and you start at the beginning of the room. Once you pass this, you have to cross a bridge of planks, and the planks fall shortly after you walk over them. Then there's a room with loads of giant gems in them, and once you take them, the coffin in the middle descends into a cage in the floor, and after loads of excessive shaking, a door opens and you can enter a minecart. This cart moves automatically, so you don't have to do anything. However, among the track, there are planks designed specifically to give you blunt force trauma to the head, and if you press E, you can easily duck under them. After doing this for a bit, you reach the exit, and after dismounting the minecart, you get your $7,000. Quite rewarding, but lots of the time, even after spamming chat for 5 minutes, some people just won't open the door for you. Final robbery is a bank truck. This one is the only one that requires police interaction, and both the criminals and the police can do this one. This one must be started by the police. You need 2 cops in the truck to be able to drive it, and it does have a convenient gun mounted on the top. Once 2 cops are in, you have to deliver the bank truck to a certain randomly decided location. However, as you're driving there, if a criminal plants C4 at the back door and detonates it, money will fall out of the truck as you're driving, and they can pick it up and take it. Not good. Once you've arrived at your destination, you can enter the back of the truck and take up to around $10,000 from it, but if another person is there, and they probably will be, the money is split. Important to note, both criminals and police do the same process to get money from this robbery, but the police are the ones driving the truck. To get your money, you simply walk away from the truck. Well, that took a while, but that's all the robberies. Now we'll elaborate on the police team, but it's not as complex as the criminals. As a cop, you have to arrest criminals, or you can kill them, but this is useless as you get no money from it, and if they had a bounty, it's set back to 0 and you don't get it. As a cop, you start with 4 items: a pistol, a taser, handcuffs, and rose spikes. The pistol, although the default weapon, is actually not that bad. Really all that matters is your aim, so as you can imagine, I am terrible. Deals 15 damage, is semi-automatic, and has 8 rounds in its magazine. Next is a taser, which is a very useful weapon, and like camping, some people get mad when you use it. Kind of like Twitter. The taser has 1 shot and takes a while to reload, but if you hit it, it ragdolls the criminal for 3 seconds, giving you plenty of time to arrest them. A very powerful weapon. Next is the handcuffs, which is pretty self-explanatory. When in range, you hold E for a bit to arrest someone. Simple. However, if you're on mobile, all you have to do is tap E, which I don't like, but I have to deal with it. Finally, we have the road spikes, which pop the tires of a criminal's car when run over. I don't use them very much, but it is a cool addition. Next up, a very important part of Jailbreak, the vehicles. There are 4 vehicle types: land, air, sea, and hovercraft, though this could be considered air as well. Land and air have by far the most vehicles though, and sea just isn't very useful. So we'll only be going over land and air. However, I'm not going to cover every vehicle in the game because that would take far too long, so I'll cover some of the popular and well-known ones. The first car is a Camaro. This is a default free car and it obviously sucks. Slow acceleration, mediocre top speed, low reverse speed, you get the deal, but it's free. There's also the Jeep, but it's essentially just a police Camaro, but, well, Jeep. The next car is a Lamborghini. It's quite a decent car which does well in every aspect. This bad boy will cost you around $100,000. The next is a Eclair, or more commonly known as just the Bugatti, and the Roadster. These two cars are around the same price, but are better in certain aspects, with the Eclair being $500,000 and the Roadster being $600,000. The Eclair has a high top speed of 278 miles per hour, but a slower acceleration than the Roadster. The Roadster has an incredible acceleration, being able to reach 200 miles per hour in mere seconds. However, it has a terrible reverse speed of only 43 miles per hour. Shameful. Next up are the $1 million vehicles. First one is the Blackhawk, more commonly known as the Army Heli. This thing has 8 seats, missiles, and a nice top speed of 130 miles per hour. This vehicle is arguably one of the best vehicles to grind with, as it's in the air to avoid any terrain and you can have fun with all of your friends, given you're lucky enough to have any. Next is a Volt bike. This bike is incredibly quick, but with higher top speed and acceleration compared to the Roadster. It has only one seat, but you'd probably expect that for a bike. Also looks quite cool and has a light trail behind it. The last vehicle I'll be covering is the drone. This is a hovercraft and has 2 seats and a top speed of 140 miles per hour. This vehicle is also very good for grinding, but it has less seats for your friends. However, if you're like me, then that's perfectly fine. And that does it. That's all the main topics I want to talk about. And also, I'm on page 5 of my script. There's going to be a 40-minute video. No, please. I don't want to edit this. No, please. No. Anyhow, that's it for today. If you like this style of video, please let me know. Even though it doesn't matter because I mainly only care if I like it. Anyhow, goodbye.